To the P&B Morning Show, where we take a closer look at the political and economic issues that are shaping Nigeria today. Now, this morning, we'll begin with the developments within the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, Nigeria's main opposition party, which is once again in the spotlight over efforts to reconcile its internal divisions after a series of leadership disputes, post-election tensions, and growing disagreements among key stakeholders. The party leadership is now proposing reconciliation as a pathway to rebuild unity and reposition the PDP ahead of the 2027 elections. But the big question many political observers are asking is whether these reconciliation efforts can truly resolve the deep-rooted issues within the party. Is this a genuine attempt to rebuild trust among aggrieved members? Or is it simply a political strategy to temporarily calm tensions within the ranks? At the same time, we will also examine another issue affecting Nigerians directly, the impact of petrol subsidy removal and the growing concerns about whether the sacrifices made by citizens are translated into real benefits for the country. With rising fuel prices, increasing cost of living, and questions about how subsidy savings are being spent, many Nigerians are asking, has the policy produced gains, or are citizens still bearing the pain without seeing results? So today on the program, we will be discussing two critical issues: would the PDP's proposed reconciliation work, and pain without gain, assessing the real impact of petrol subsidy removal on Nigerians. All you need to do is to stay tuned as we break it all down right here on the P&B Morning Show. So wherever you are, welcome to the program. I remain Omike Joseph Matthew. My colleagues will be joining me much later. And of course, this morning we shall be reporting from the streets again, as we will try and look at the traffic situation in the Federal Capital Territory, and so many other issues are coming from the streets. So stay tuned, and we'll be going for a quick break. When we return, the newspaper review will be coming next. All right, so welcome back, and it is the newspaper review segment right here on the P&B Morning Show. So let's begin with the very first paper we have for you this morning. It is, of course, the Nigerian Tribune. PDP crisis. We will negotiate from position of strength. Wike. We will negotiate from position of strength. Wike. So you see, the writer there, Wabara-led BOT rejects appeal court ruling, opens window for reconciliation. Another appeal court gives factions room for settlement. Okay, so the Nigerian Tribune is carrying the story of course, yes, the PDP crisis, a story. And this morning, like you heard, we'll be talking about that on the show. So, will the reconciliation work? So we'll move on with other stories, and reps prescribed 10 million naira fine, 2-year jail term for dual party membership. Reps prescribed 10 million naira fine, 2-year jail term for dual party membership. Okay, and Afenifere fought removal of forged certificate provision from new Electoral Act. Afenifere fought removal of forged certificate provision from new Electoral Act. That's really interesting there. And Iran wants oil may hit $200 per barrel as it attacks merchant ships. Iran wants oil may hit $200 per barrel as it attacks merchant ships. That's really serious there. Really, really serious, I must tell you. Scientists discover pill for sleep. Yes, for sleep what? I tried to get that one. Apnea, according to reports. Scientists discover pill for sleep apnea, according to report. Okay, so that's coming from the health sector there. Defense Minister meets service chiefs, says we are on top of rising insecurity. Defense Minister meets service chiefs, says we are on top of rising insecurity. That's really interesting there. Nigeria on path to 7% growth as reform begin to stabilize the economy. So says Edun. Nigeria on path to 7% growth as reforms begin to stabilize economy. Edun. Professor Sheun Kolade writes for Tribune, begins Wheels of Reason column today. Okay, so that's a columnist who is joining this this table of the Nigerian Tribune. So okay, so check out his new column on the Nigerian Tribune. So that's it for the Nigerian Tribune this morning with those juicy stories for you. So let's now switch our attention now to the Nation newspaper. Wike backed PDP faction lists terms for reconciliation. Wike backed PDP faction lists terms for reconciliation. All right. That's really interesting there. You see the BOT meeting ahead yesterday. You can see the picture. Okay, I think that picture is not that of the BOT meeting anyway. All right. Now, we have other interesting stories there. House of Reps criminalizes membership of two parties. House of Reps criminalizes membership of two parties. APC senators now 84. APC senators now 84. So they are now dominating the House, well above 2/3. Is that also? Yes. 3 senators of 5 reps dump PDP LP. All right, to the rider there, 3 senators, 5 reps dump PDP LP. All right, that's really interesting there. Okay, so we still have another story there. Middle East crisis. Federal government rules out petrol price control. Middle East crisis. Federal government rules out petrol price control. All right, that's really interesting. And the war in the Middle East appears not to, have any sign of abating at the moment. Why Gulf oil gas producers should invest in Nigeria by Tuga. Why Gulf oil gas producers should invest in Nigeria by Tuga. Talking about the foreign affairs minister trying to convince foreign investors on why they should invest in the oil sector. And of course, we have other stories. The other one they're talking about terrorist attacks, military on top of the game. So says Musa, the Minister of Defense, are talking there. He met the security chiefs yesterday, and he's saying, of course, the military is on top of the situation, right? Away now from the Nation newspaper, we try and move on to another paper this morning. Okay, this one is, I think, a regional paper known as The Hope. Ondo places dusk to dawn ban on Okada operations. Okay, Ondo places dusk to dawn ban on Okada operations. Orders registration of riders within 2 weeks as Amotekun parade 70 suspects. Okay, that's really interesting there. Ondo APC concludes State Congress swears in new executives. Electoral Act. Reps propose 10 million naira fine, jail for dual party membership. That's really good. Okay, so that's from the Hope newspaper there. And we'll now move on to another paper for you this morning. let's quickly move on to another paper. The Daily Sun is up next, and let's see what the Daily Sun is talking about. Yeah, this Daily Sun is also talking about a party, the amendment to the Electoral Act 2026 by the House of Rep. And of course, they are carrying the headline, dual party membership to attract 2-year jail term. Offenders may also pay 10 million naira fine or both. That's from the House of Representatives there. As reps amend newly signed Electoral Act, dual party membership to attract 2-year jail term. So, thou shalt not be member of two political parties. That's what this bill, this amendment is talking about. If you belong to a particular party, do not go and belong to another party. If that is found, then you stand the chance of paying 10 million naira or going to jail for 2 years. That's really, really serious. PDP leaders set up reconciliation panel, hopeful of rebound. PDP leaders have set up reconciliation panel, hopeful of rebound. That's really interesting there. If you are watching us if you are watching us courtesy of YouTube, please do well to subscribe to the channel this morning. Yes, subscribe to the channel and of course like this broadcast so that many others can of course know that we are on. All right, so like the channel. You can also drop your comments on any of the issues if you feel like dropping your comments, and we promise that we will acknowledge your comments live on the program. So all you need to do is to go to YouTube, and of course the handle or the channel is Politics and Business Television.English. Politics and Business Television.English, or that's TV. Politics and Business TV.English. Yes. And of course on Facebook at Politics and Business TV underscore English, Instagram, and of course X is at P&B underscore English. So for YouTube is Politics and Business TV dot English. So do well to subscribe to the channel this morning. So let's move on with the other paper online. Which one do we have? We have the Daily Trust. The Daily Trust. Electoral Act. Cross-carpet crackdown traps politicians. Cross-carpet crackdown traps politician. Yes, what this headline is actually talking about is still on the issue of belonging to this party and also, finding yourself in the other party. And there's a crackdown on it. The House of Rep have tweak the Electoral Act once more, and if you are found to be doing that, of course, you have a 10 million naira to vomit to the courts or go to 2 years in jail. So we'll continue with that with the Daily Trust. Yes, Middle East crisis, federal government warns of price shocks. Middle East crisis, federal government warns of price shocks. Okay, so the markets will definitely decide whether or not would decide the pump price of petrol or of fuel in the country. That's what the federal government is talking about. National Assembly redundant. Okay, that's according to Senator Ndume. National Assembly redundant. So check out that story there on the Punch newspaper. Why is the National Assembly redundant, according to Senator Ndume this morning? World Kidney Day. Patients seek free dialysis as costs of treatment bites hard. World Kidney Day. Patients seek free dialysis as costs of treatment bites hard. That's really interesting there. Family seeks reunion with Walida. Family seeks reunion with Walida. Remember the girl under the custody of the DSS recently? Yes, she's right now under the custody of the Jigawa state government, but she has not returned to the states as we speak. She's still here in Abuja, but under the state government custody. But the family are seeking for her reunion this morning. So check out that story on the Daily Trust newspaper. I will still have other interesting stories there at the bottom of the front page of the Daily Trust this morning. Bandits killed 15, injure many in Kasina, and Abuja, Benue, other states at risk of temperature soar. Yes, Abuja is already feeling that temperature soar. I must tell you, the weather is really, 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 hot here in the Federal Capital Territory. And of course, the weatherman is saying that he's already predicting the weather to be very, very hot. Okay. All right. So you need to prepare for that. Abuja, Benue, other states at risk of temperature soar. And of course, we have another story there coming from the Daily Trust. Borno attack, service chiefs review strategies. Yes, as soldiers recapture base. Borno attacks, service chiefs review strategies as soldiers recapture base. Yes, that story is talking about the Nigerian army recapturing Igoshi. Igoshi in Borno State there, in Goza local government area to be precise. They've recaptured the village where terrorists, did a very terrible job last week. The Nigerian army have recovered the base. So if you check out the Daily Trust this morning, you have that story there. Okay, so let's move on from the Daily Trust and check out the Punch newspaper this morning. And the Punch newspaper is with the headline, Monopoly Fears Rise as Dangote controls a 14.4 trillion naira petrol market. Monopoly fears rise as Dangote controls 14.4 trillion naira petrol market. That's really interesting there. Nigeria spent 85.2 billion naira. Oh, sorry. Nigeria spends 82.2 billion, 2 billion servicing external debt in 2025. Nigeria spent 85.2 billion naira servicing external debt in 2025. Wow, that's really interesting. Electoral Act reps OK jail for dual party membership. You can check that out on page 7. So the Punch newspaper is also carrying that story this morning. Fear in Ondo communities as kidnappers tighten grip on Akure North. Fear in Ondo communities as kidnappers tighten grip on Akure North. That's really serious there. Oshun gubernatorial election. Yes, I think that's what that headline is talking about. Adeleke Oyebanji dream victory as campaign begins. Oshun gubernatorial election. Adeleke Oyebanji dream victory as campaign begins. It's all good. Joshua's uncle confirms boxers move to Dubai. Joshua's uncle confirms boxers move to Dubai. Talking about Anthony Joshua. So the uncle has confirmed that he may have relocated to Dubai. He's no longer in the UK. All right. Defense Minister orders operational overhaul after base attacks. Defense Minister orders operational overhaul after base attacks. Appeal court fallout. Makinde Bala splits over Wike peace deal. Appeal court fallout. Makinde Bala splits over Wike peace deal. That's talking about the PDP reconciliation, attempt. And so, what the Punch newspaper is reporting, as far as this headline is concerned, is that Makinde and Bala Muhammad may not be in the same train as the way or on how the reconciliation should go. And check out that story to find out yourself why these two allies are split over how the reconciliation should happen. So you get that juicy story there from the Punch newspaper this morning. Right. Okay, so the last but not least, maybe headline you should check out for. Okay, I think we just, all right. I think my producer has taken us back now. Now, Punch MD, editor-in-chief, joins World Editors Forum Board. Punch MD, editor-in-chief, joins World Editors Forum Board. That we have to say congratulations to the MD of Punch for that. Okay, let's check out our very last paper this morning, and of course is coming from a sporting a sports extra courtesy of the Punch. All right. Football helps me focus after father's death, according to Ndidi. Football helps me focus after father's death. That's Ndidi there. Okay. And Joshua's uncle confirms boxers move to Dubai. Okay, so Sports Extra has that story there. All right. Olise rules out Ballon d'Or chase. Olise rules out Ballon d'Or chase. Okay. That's Olise of Bayern Munich there, ruling out Ballon d'Or chase this morning. Okay, and Chill receives Agu Nwanwu injury boosts. Okay, right. So Eric Chill, that's the coach of the Super Eagles, getting reports of his two players' injury updates, and I think they appear to be good now. All right. And Iwobi vows Fulham will fight until season's end. Yes, that's Iwobi talking there. Vows Fulham will fight until season's end. Yes, the situation of Fulham lately is like they have some dip in form. They've been doing very well, but their recent outing has not been, what it used to be. DR Congo unveils playoff squad. DR Congo unveils playoffs squad. All right. So with this, DR Congo are very, very sure that yes, they are the one that might be going to the World Cup, as far as the case between them and Nigeria is concerned in the front of FIFA. So, but for the Nigerian Football Federation, it appears they are still optimistic that a pronouncement will still be made to their favor. Okay. And yes, Barca gets Alvarez transfer boosts. Barca gets Alvarez transfer boosts. Enzo on PSG radar. Enzo on PSG radar. Enzo plays for Chelsea in the English Premiership, and it appears PSG trying to get him to play for them. And last night, yes, PSG I think defeated Chelsea in the UEFA Champions League, and it was a whooping victory. A whooping defeat. I should put it that way. For Chelsea. Yes, PSG beating Chelsea by 5-2. Yes, so the sports men will, of course, give you the details of all that during our sports segments this morning. All right, so that's all we have for you on the newspaper review this morning, and we'll be going for a quick break. When we return, we'll surely bring you some other juicy segments right here on the P&B Morning Show, right here on Politics and Business Television, Abuja. Still remain Omiki Joseph Matthew. Please do stay tuned.